Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Matt Williams. I'm a tutor in politics at Jesus College at the University of Oxford. Defend tweeting. This is a past Oxford interview question. Just 2 words, defend tweeting. Now, as ever with an Oxford interview, the idea is to try and deconstruct, break down the question with the interviewer, right? You're having a conversation with the interviewer, you're going to work on it together. So the fairly obvious sort of word to try and get to grips with fairly quickly is tweeting. What does that mean? What does it actually entail? And sort of think about it quite conceptually. So, you'll be probably familiar with tweeting as writing a short comment publicly that the whole world can access. But think about it sort of conceptually, that's a form of quite efficient communication. It's very widely accessible. So those are some of the elements of tweeting that we ought to sort of focus our attention on. But actually, remember there are 2 words in this question, and you need to be sensitive to the language in the entirety of a question as far as it's possible to do so. So defend, what does defend mean? Well, defend implies that there is something to defend against, so it might be worth considering what sort of criticisms are sometimes levelled against tweeting. I mean, for example, because it's so efficient, because it's so short, you don't really get a particularly sophisticated conversation. Also, because of the way that Twitter operates its algorithm, sometimes the tweets that are more extreme get more traction than those that are more moderate, and that could be problematic for the nature of the discourse that we end up having online. So your job is to defend that, right? So how are you going to do it? Well, think about what a defense entails. A defense entails at least 2 components. So first of all, you might defend something purely on its own merits, that it's a good thing to do. So you might sort of say, well, I'm going to defend it because it's the right thing to do. So that's just a moral defense. Related to that, but slightly different, is a defense based on the consequences of it not happening or the consequences of it continuing to happen. Okay, and that could be described as a consequentialist argument or a consequentialist defense. So, the moral defense might be something along the lines of, well, it's just right that people should be able to express themselves and that other people should be able to interact with that. And given that we have the technology to enable it, that should just be allowed to happen. It's kind of the digital equivalent of someone shouting on a street corner. That we shouldn't stop that. That's a good thing to do. The consequentialist argument on top of that would build on that, would say something along the lines of, it invigorates our democracies, it helps us access voices that would otherwise be inaccessible, and that it enriches our debate potentially. Now, some people would, of course, come back with various counter arguments, and that's where you would need to be ready with your defences. But the important thing with a question like this is be absolutely clear what it is you think tweeting is and to come up with some conceptual analysis of that, but also be clear what a defence is and try and work out how you would marshal your ideas in order to defend it as well as possible. I hope that makes sense, but let me know if you would defend tweeting in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All the best, thanks, bye.